First of all, what is a concealment? And how do I know that I'm in concealment?
I don't know. Do you have some deficiency? Some empty place? That empty deficiency.
How do I know that I'm in concealment?
It's a feeling. It's a feeling.
Does one identify that it comes from the Creator?
That is a problem already. After a few years, we begin to feel that what is hidden deliberately on purpose by the Creator. He is the operator and He is the one establishing this concealment in you. Well, not concealment maybe, but He's establishing in you. Well, a person gets all kinds of troubles, all kinds of such people who rise against him, enemies, people who talk about him, all kinds of problems at home, all kinds of problems from the students, problems from the relatives, whatever it might be. Even though he is as much as possible trying to be in adhesion with the study, and he tries not to move as much as possible for him, one begins to feel that in everything happening to him, there is a guiding hand there. It is the upper force. He starts to discover that it exists, the upper desire, not his own desire, not something else, rather some fate, but it's a constant one that always exists. Like people say, why is it happening to me? What is going on? What did I do? Why do I deserve this? But here it's in a more internal manner. Before he didn't have this thing, and now he has this sensation. It's this feeling that this is brought to me on the path all the time, so that now I have to learn how to cope with it. At first, he wants to cope with it in order to remove the disturbances. That's clear, obvious, because of the will to receive. But gradually, when he nevertheless persists in the society and in the study, he begins to see that here there is some kind of clarion, an invitation to relate to this differently. That specifically, not in order to remove these unpleasant disturbances that he has on the path in his whole life and from all kinds. It could be health and family and work and the whole world that is jumping at you and everything. As it says, all those that the Lord loves, He reproaches.
And then he begins to appreciate it, as we began to say here, that it comes from the Creator. And He's sending it to me with a special purpose, relating to me specifically in this way, so that through these concealments, which I see everywhere, there's nothing you can do everywhere. The more a person is immersed in the study and in what he should be doing, the more quickly he discovers that what comes from the Creator comes deliberately. So he discovers that there is a higher desire here. From that moment onwards, he begins to advance on us on a more directed, orderly path.